founders, often feel the need for advice, somebody they can brainstorm with. And the question often is, who should that person or people be? Should it be your board? Should it be your investors? Sometimes investors and board is pretty much the same thing. Or should there be some external advisors? I think this is a big sort of point that founders, when they're setting out for the first time, often sort of grapple with. And I think the answer is nuanced than what I think a lot of people have said so far. So here's the thing, right? As a founder, again, your number one job is to communicate effectively both with your board and with your investors. Now, if the two are the same, I mean, you have fewer sort of stakeholders to keep informed. But in case it's a larger company and for some reason, let's say you bought in an independent director pretty early in your journey, then again, I mean, you really need to learn how to engage with your board to keep the board functioning and not adversarial is the singular job of a founder. I can't stress this enough. I mean, boards are neither antagonistic or they will not just be a walkover. Again, this is a lot of human relationships where you're able to take across everybody. But I think the question still remains, then who is your mentor? I think a lot of founders saying that, boards are useless and, they're just there to sort of stymie all the grand plans that a founder may have. And I think, again, if that is the kind of board you've got, I think the question you've got to ask is, why was this board put in place in the first place? Because ultimately the founder does have freedom to build their own sort of board. And I'm talking about early stage privately held companies. I'm of course not talking about the publicly listed companies. Now, the question is, who should be a mentor? I think giving advice is very easy. I think everybody wants to give advice. Everybody wants to tell a founder. And I think there's a little bit of a halo. And I think there are people on LinkedIn who call themselves mentors. And I think stay away from people who call themselves mentors. A mentor is somebody who has really your interest at heart, and to judge that is very, very hard. So to my mind, I think you should pretty much exclude anybody who doesn't have direct skin in the game because of the outcome of your company. I think outcome of your company is everything for a founder. So remember to take advice. And again, this is such a critical judgment call for a founder. When do you listen? When do you disregard? When do you examine what something is being said to you? And then you take a much more deeply thought through reasons for either, whether you want to follow or not follow. I think it's not so important or prescriptive that you've got to follow everything that somebody says to you, whether it's your board, it's your investors, or even any external sort of, members who may be giving you some input. I think it's important to be reflective, to be able to sort of put multiple sort of data points, information, anecdotal inputs that you're getting and come to a sort of conclusion which is in the best interest of your company. I think sometimes maybe as a founder, you can be your best mentor if you do this.